I am just going to put a gameplay here while explaining about build making. First is the character selection section. We begin with race. Keep in mind that you can just grab any race for any build and it would work, so I just recommend you either read or see what race has the most drip for the build you planning. But to recommend some generalist, then I would say Harmonite for the no downside and one extra skill slot. Krag for a tankiness, and fun fact, the move charge scales with soul strength, so it does a lot of damage while costing you 0 mana, insanely underrated. Then you have the free crit chance, which are Cattier and Irani. For the sin and weapon I'm just going to skip because they don't really matter and you can read what sins do to pick the ones that fit you most. We will begin with the side tree. Recommended nodes to get if you have spare / don't have enough for other stuff are third node crit tree, third node support if you plan on using rally, first and second nodes on defense. There are also elemental node that can be taken as side node, like the first 3 nodes of water, first node earth. Prioritize getting third node crit. Now we get to the main nodes. I will just tell what I know about the elements. We begin with water. Depth Binder encourages playing around with your puddle while staying still. Flowmaster excels when it comes to AoE. Next is earth. I recommend getting Living Bastion because it's much more consistent, since you can just wait 3 seconds to trigger a ring that does 6 damage for 10 seconds. Seismic Wrath forces you to play around the Fissure. This one is worse than the other because you have to crit to even proc Fissure, extremely inconsistent. Next is Frost. Shattermaster is the DPS side of Frost. Glacial Control is more about freezing. Next is Disease. Just run Corruptive Epidemic, the other branch is just pure trash. Next is Nature. Left branch gives you access to Venom Rot, which is the strongest DOT in game but very hard TO play because you have to use root skills and need 2 or more enemies at the same time, while also have to pray for the poison spread to proc to even trigger Poison Patch. Virulent Bloom is much more consistent because it is just about applying poison, which you are already doing when playing Nature. Next is Fire. Volcanic Rupture is about detonating burn stack, good for short fight but personally it feels inconsistent for me. Scorching Wrath is just the longer the fight the harder the burn become, very simple to play. Next is Lightning. Living Storm got the issue that you gain more than you lose and you have to crit a lot, which is so inconsistent that it barely props. Stormpiercer is a much better tree as you just have to throw everything you have and it will amplify your damage. Next is Shadow. Veil of the Forgotten is for stealth-based shadow build. Umbral Corruption is a more straightforward branch as you just have to drain their mana. I recommend going Umbral Corruption as it's more consistent and can save you if you messed up your assassination. Next is Holy. Divine Bastion is the support branch. Radiant Judgment is the DPS branch. Next is Physical. Carnage of the Slain is the DPS branch as you get access to Blood Puddle. Bloodbound Fury gives you a bit of sustain when you kill enemies. Personally, I would trade that 5% heal of Bloodbound Fury for 2 damage per second from Carnage of the Slain. Last is Wind. Storm Dancer is about dodging and proc Wind Aura to do damage for you. Sharp Current is a cheap but decent node as it lets you apply dot. Personally, I prefer Storm Dancer more as it's more consistent even though it does less damage. Now we are in the dungeon. When picking potential, my prioritization is upgrades that help you survive or do more damage. Then stat upgrade. Keep in mind that if you are struggling to survive, then fully prioritize stat card even if they are common. Also, do not go melee and magic hybrid as it is very ineffective. Please only go either mage or melee, no in between. If these two don't appear, grab upgrades that at least have some uses. If all the cards that you got can't be used or you think will be barely used, then just discard. Lastly, only get weapon if they are mythical. I personally just use fist to stun enemies while spamming skills. Next part is skills. Since you already have an element build plan, prioritize getting strong skill that is in lower rarity like uncommon or rare of that element to make your gameplay easier. For this I recommend you go on the absolvement Trello to look at skills or just go into the official Discord server and ask people. For the affix selection, if you struggle to survive, then do not pick any affix because affix make you level up faster and so you wouldn't be able to grab all the available potential or wouldn't grind enough item, especially Void Essence as it can lessen the usage of discard. But if you want, you can pick affix for a few run and when the available potential reach like 20 plus and you see that you are struggling, just stop doing affix run until you can catch up with the potential cap. For what affix to select, I recommend just read, and if you are unsure just try them out and see if your build can handle that affix or not. Personally, if you can then play with affixes on as the luck boost helps a lot for a strong build.